We are recording.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Coder School's first live app stream. My name is Hansel. I am the CEO and founder of the Coder School. I'm here with my man, Wayne.
Hey, I'm Wayne. I'm the COO of the Coder School. I'm hanging out here with Hansel. Well, actually, I'm not really hanging out with him. If you can't tell, we're actually being social distancing, and so he's in his house and I'm in my house, but we're hanging out together here on camera.
Yeah. So we're gonna show you guys a little app today that we made that is actually pretty relevant to the times. Hope everybody out there is staying safe and staying healthy. We're gonna do a little app that shows you how coronavirus might spread in our totally awesome simulation. But before we do that, before we get into making the app, we're going to do a little tech talk. Tech talk is what we call a tech talk.
Yeah, to talk about a technology, some random technology. And so and it's an abbreviation for technology talk. There you go.
That's cool, right? So we're gonna jump right in and talk about that a little bit, and then I'll go ahead and share my screen after that, and we'll get into some coding. All right, well, I guess like any good radio show, we better remind you who the heck we are.
Yeah.
We're from the code. This is something we just read online just like 10 minutes ago that we're supposed to keep repeating who we are. So I'm Hansel. This is Wayne.
I'm Wayne, yeah. And we are doing the Coder School app stream right here,
live.
Right,
good. So, all right, so for our first tech talk, we thought we would talk a little bit about something that everybody has probably seen by now, these virtual backgrounds. Check this out, this virtual background, it's like I'm at our Coder School or something.
Yeah, but you're not, right? That's the whole point of it.
But I'm not, I'm actually in my house. I'm touching my wall right now. No, I'm not really doing it, but I'm actually in my house. My house is a mess, so I wanted to do a virtual background. Wayne, why don't you have a virtual background?
Yeah, let's see here. So, well, I'm uncool. I don't have a cool background, but like, let me show you a couple backgrounds. If I do it, I'm kind of like Space Ghost, but the reason here is that mine's not as smooth as Hansel's. My microprocessor is not quite as fast as Hansel's. So the different computers that you might have an older one, and you're gonna look more like Space Ghost, like this.
Yeah, you need to upgrade your computer, man.
That is true. Yeah, I need to build that in.
All right, so who knows how virtual background works? Show of hands. Anybody? Bueller.
Yeah, Bueller,
well,
man.
It's really just Wayne and I, so I guess nobody's raising their hand. So how does it work? Wayne, give us a lowdown. Give us a quick lowdown on how a green screen works.
Yeah, so if you're familiar with the green screen, which I think most of you are, you know, the movies use it to make Superman fly and things like that. So you've probably at least seen some actors or heard about it, but it's kind of similar a little bit, right? In that somebody's not really where they are, and so they use green screens to kind of simulate that, and they filter out the green. But the virtual background is a whole nother level, which actually Hansel.
That's kind of the old-fashioned lame way. The green screen is the easy way to do these videos. So actually Zoom, I don't work for Zoom, although maybe I wish I did because they're doing really awesome in this. Everybody's using Zoom right now. But Zoom have these really awesome engineers that it actually uses some form of artificial intelligence. You guys probably know that when you make a video, it's made up of a bunch of pictures, right? I wish I had my Bruce Lee flip book to show you guys, but it's like a flip book. A video is like a flip book. It shows you a bunch of pictures really quickly. That's how things seems like they move. And so what happens is the computer is so fast that every frame, every picture that it records, the computer is really quickly able to go, oop, there's Hansel's shoulders and there's his bald head. It's nice and, you know, even, that goes all the way across. And it knows to cut me out of my background, which looks, let me see if I can show you my normal background. This is my bedroom right here, just my wall. So that's what that looks like. And so the computer is smart enough and fast enough to cut me out of it and put a virtual background in the back. It uses actually artificial intelligence. It uses all these crazy algorithms, which I'm pretending I know a lot about, but I have no idea actually what they're doing because the AI behind this is really tough stuff. It uses deep learning algorithms. You guys can use that cool buzzword later with your friends if you want. It essentially has looked at a bajillion pictures of people and it cobbles it together in the computer mind to know that, well, most people have shoulders like this, most people have a head like this, and that's how they cut out a picture of a person and put a virtual background in the back like that. So that's about all I know about it.
But beyond that, yeah, so we've all, you know, I mean, virtual backgrounds are super fun. So have a lot of fun with them, because I know you're all going to be in Zoom meetings for at least the next several weeks here, it looks like, and maybe a few months. But have a lot of fun with them. And now, hopefully,
not too much
you at
fun.
least know, yeah, not too much fun, but hopefully
you
at least know sort of how they work. And there's a lot of artificial intelligence behind it if you learned at least one thing from the tech talk.
Yeah,
again,
AI is like super tough stuff, but Wayne and I have been coding for, I don't know, 30 years, and we're pretty good coders. We can code some stuff on the web, and we can code some stuff on the back end and stuff, but the AI stuff, honestly, it's really beyond us. It's for people who have PhDs and are real computer scientists. So if that's interesting to you guys, think about, you know, going into computer science as a major. Wayne, my screen looked totally frozen. Was it frozen for you?
No, that's probably your internet, man.
All right, I gotta step up on that. All right, so let's get into the actual AppStream, the CoderSchool AppStream. Let's start doing the app and have some kids follow along.
Who are we again?
We are the CoderSchool AppStream.
Yeah, Hansel
now kids.
and Wayne. And
Hansel and Wayne.
The CoderSchool AppStream. That's right.
All right, now kids.
Hansel's the one without hair. Wayne's the one with hair. I guess.
Easy to remember.
You get confused. Or if you can't just read our names, I guess our names are right there. So there you go. There you go.
Smart thinking. All right, so kids, we are about to jump onto Scratch. We're going to use Scratch today and show you guys some cool logic for a kind of a cool app, which we can make pretty quickly. So a lot of you guys are probably familiar with Scratch already. If you're not, what you want to do now is hit pause if you can, if you need to, or just bust open a browser and go to scratch.mit.edu. And then I am going to share my screen here shortly. Ooh, Wayne just made me the host, gave me all the power.
Gave you all the power, Hansel. Rock and roll.
I'm going to throw down right about now. All right, so sharing. Oh, I got so many windows up. Okay, here we go.
Yeah. All right.
So this is the Scratch screen. You guys have probably seen this or have been here. If not, if you got to scratch.mit.edu, I think you hit create, I think it is up here, and you'll get to the screen. So here we are. All right, so this is a completely blank screen, and I'm going to be the play-by-play guy and sort of start dragging some blocks. You guys, please do follow along. Wayne's going to be our color commentator, and we're going to put pressure on him to make hilarious jokes.
Yeah, man. And for any of you guys calling in, I'll take calls and commentary and everything, even though we're actually kind of recording this. So probably unlikely, but I'll definitely take those, and I'll feed them to you, Hansel.
You never know. Even though we're recording, somebody might pop in.
You never know. Somebody might kind of know that we're recording. They might actually just text me a question.
All right, here we go, guys. Okay, so we're going to start from a completely empty screen here. This is what Scratch looks like when you start. It's just this cat dude. You guys have probably seen this cute cat dude. So we're going to start with doing a random glider. So let's see. We're going to go, what are we going to do? We're going to go do a forever loop. Kids love forever loops, right? Because things go on forever. And we're just going to do this really simple thing up here under motion. Click on motion. And we're going to say glide 1 second to a random position. That's it. So click on that thing, and what you'll see is the cat just go flying around everywhere. Pretty cool, huh? I guess we haven't really talked about what this app that we're doing actually is.
That's true. That's right. Let's talk about the AppStream and our first app ever. This is the first episode and the app that we're actually going to build.
First app ever.
Do we even have a name for it? I know it's coronavirus emulation, centric, but you're usually very creative, and you usually come up with some really cool names, Hansel. What's a good name for it?
Coronavirus emulation centric app.
There you go. Very short and easy to remember name. See?
Short and easy.
Coronavirus emulator.
So what this thing is going to show us, actually, what we're going to do is we're going to, this cat right here represents a person, represents a cool cat, so to speak. And what he's basically doing right now is just he's going from place to place. So we're simulating that he's going from home to work. Now he's at school. Now he's at the grocery store. So basically, it's a guy who's just going around everywhere, right? That's what this pet is simulating.
And to give a little background onto the app itself. So we are trying to actually build something that's going to emulate the coronavirus and how contagious it is, and if people are going around and they can spread it. And so, you know, the cat is going to be representing just a regular person.
Yeah. That's a really good point. All joking aside, there's actually a pretty interesting lesson to learn out of this. So let's keep going. So our guy is kind of still bouncing around here. So what we're going to do is we are going to, so this screen is pretty small and this cat is gigantic. You guys aren't giants and the world is much bigger than that. So what we're going to do is we're going to make this cat.
Glad you stopped that. I think I was hypnotized. Yeah, you can get hypnotized by that cat actually with the glider.
Hypnotized. That's a shout out back to David Letterman from the old days for those
actually that is David Letterman, and none of you should be old enough to remember him.
All right, so this cat is too big for me, so I'm going to set this cat size. So I clicked on looks, this purple stuff here, which changes the looks of the sprite, and I'm going to set this cat size to, I'm going to say 30%, and then so I just typed in 30. I click that guy right there, and bazinga, bazawa, right there. Gave him a little shrinking power and made him a little tinier. Actually, I'm going to make him more than that. I'm going to make him 20. You guys can do whatever you'd like. 20 seems like a good number because now he's kind of a little cat in the big world here.
Yeah, maybe even show them 10 or 5% just to emulate, you know, the famous Ant-Man right now that, you know, everybody knows about. The Marvel, he's the Marvel person, isn't he? Is it from Marvel?
He is, yeah.
All right.
You don't know that? You've been living under a rock. See, look, 5.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well,
you will make him microscopic. Okay, all right.
Oh yeah, look at that, man. That is Ant-Man.
Right, now we're being immature. Okay.
Yeah, there we go. 20%.
Okay. All right, 20%. All right, 20%. So what we're going to do is, so you're not the only person living in this world. This cool cat is not the only person living in this world. What we're going to do is have a bunch of cats living in this world. Now, we are going to use this pretty cool functionality in Scratch called clone. I don't know if you guys have used this before, but it's pretty neat. Create a clone of myself.
Kind of like creating a twin of yourself, right? So if you guys have never really heard the term clone, but it's basically like creating a duplicate. And I think in science they use that when they take like a genetic slice of something, and then they try to create like an animal, and they're creating a complete copy of it. So that it's essentially the same thing here in the Scratch coding environment.
Wouldn't it be cool if you could make 1 million copies of yourself? You can do all your homework in like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to do here. So we're going to take this cat, and so you guys saw that I put this repeat loop around it. So what it's going to do is it's going to repeat this 10 times and create 10 clones of myself. So what I'm going to do though is I'm also going to add this new another control block, or I'm sorry, not a control block, this event block. So I don't know why they made these colors so similar, but it's right about here. We want to click the yellow, not the yellow orange, but the yellow orange yellow.
Yeah, the yellow sunshiny one, and not the sun-kissed one.
Right.
But they have another orange one under variables, so there you go, just to make it even more.
Different kind of orange. All right. So what we're going to do is say when. Wait, where is it? Who knows where when I start as a sprite is? Maybe it's not up there. It's down here. Here we go.
Yeah,
all right, so it's in the other orange section. My bad. It's right above the create clone in the control section, the orange section. All right. So when I create a clone, when I start as a clone. So I'm going to tag that bad boy right above here. So let's think about, before I run this, let's think about what that's going to do. So repeat 10 times. So obviously I'm going to do this 10 times. I'm going to create 10 clones of myself. And when I create a clone, all of the code of this clone will be copied over to the clone. That means all of the clones will have this code in it. So when I start as a clone, so when this guy is basically born, as soon as he's born, he's going to start running this code, and he's going to go on forever. So before I click the button, think for a second. What do you guys think that it will actually do? Wayne, are you smart enough to figure out that code? What do you think it'll do?
Yeah, I think it's going to be like he's going to be born because he's a, you know, when he starts as a clone. So he kind of comes out of the, you know, thing and you know, most babies would start crying. But this one, he's forever going to follow the command and say, I'm going to just keep gliding, you know, to some random position every 1 second.
That's right. It's like you're a professional coder or something. You figured it out.
Somehow, yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's the beauty of Scratch. I do want to give kudos to Scratch and the MIT team behind it that put this out there, and it's free for everyone. You can all try it out, but they've done a wonderful job. I mean, think about how intuitive that is. I mean, even if you weren't a coder or whatnot, I was pretty much reading the instructions there, you know?
Yeah, so let's do it. So I'm going to click this thing. Let's do it. There you go. It makes 10 of us, 10 of this cat. It's just moving around the world, just like Wayne said. So again, we're going to go back to the analogy. This is, you know, that first cool cat is actually staying in place. I won't dig into why that's the case, but he's basically not running his code because he's not a clone. He himself is not a clone, but all of his clones are going in a forever loop and gliding to random positions around in the screen. So what is this?
Yeah. They look so big. It's just like busybodies just running around.
Yeah, it's like you're in New York or something.
Why is that one sit? What's up with the one though that's just frozen up in the upper right?
Wayne, you weren't listening to what I was just saying 5 seconds ago. This guy up in the upper right is actually the original guy. He's not the clone. And so because he's not the clone, he didn't get this message that says when I start as a clone. So he's not running around forever. He just basically had 10 babies and is chilling out because he doesn't have any code to run.
Perfect.
Awesome.
I did zone out and I did miss that. Sorry about that.
Hey, no sleeping during the AppStream, man.
Well, I'm trying to do make sure that the AppStream, the recording's going okay and all that. So we're kind of doing the production quality as well. So sorry about that though. That was, and in case you swear, I'm kind of like on edge. You know, I want to we'll blank that out. Yeah, trying to be like radio personality. So.
All right. So here we are. So we got 10 guys here, and I'm sure you guys by now have put in 90 or 1,000 or 1,000,000 cats running around, which is totally fine. So this is our simulation of what New York could look like when it's probably not that busy. Just a bunch of cats running around, bumping into each other and walking around, right? Yeah. So now let's do something more interesting and get to the interesting part. What we're gonna do is, you see how some of these cats, they sometimes run into each other and well, I guess they just kind of run past each other. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put some code into this to where if one cat is red, that if they touch another cat that's not red, they will turn that cat red also.
You know, so like catching the virus, right? I mean, spreading the disease. So that's what we're trying to simulate here.
That's right. So if you're red, you know, you have the virus. If you're not, then you're a healthy person. So let's try to simulate that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these sprites and we are going to change them up a little bit. So I'm going to hit stop. I'm going to go into costumes over here for this sprite, okay? It just so happens that this default sprite that just comes with it, that it starts with, has 2 different versions. Normally, it's used to show the cat walking. You can see it kind of go
right. If you click back and forth, you can make it look like he's walking. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
just like animation.
Animation. That's right.
Yeah.
This time, what we're going to do is we're going to try to make him. We're going to have the second guy represent a sick cat. All right. So to do that, we want to click on the second one. We want to let's purple's cool, but not as deadly sounding as red. Red is always deadly sounding. So we'll change that to red. And what we're going to do is click this little fill icon. And what we can do is actually change this guy to a red cat. So anywhere where it's orange, click on the orange part and change it red. You can even, I'm going to make his mouth red. Ooh, he looks like
pretty cool.
Zombie.
Pretty cool. That's right.
Zombie cat.
Zombie cat. He's not going to pass the test. He's going to test positive for sure.
That's right. Just looking at him, he looks positive.
Exactly. Right, so, he looks like it. Fever. So he looks like he's running a fever right off the bat.
That's right. In his teeth.
Yeah.
We're going to go back to the code here. And what we're going to do is let's, what should we do? Let's So I clicked on this red guy, so now he's red, but let's click back to the healthy guy. So click on this so that when he starts, he's healthy. So
Yeah.
now see the cat right here and right here, he's actually healthy and yellow. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna see, we're gonna have these clones check to see if it's touched a red guy. So what we're gonna do is while he's gliding, after he does a glide, he is going to check. So put in that if
Throwing
statement.
in some binary logic here. Some binary logic, throwing it in there.
0 or 1.
You may have seen that if then.
We're gonna go into the sensing here, and we're gonna take if touching color. So put that in there. And so what this is saying is if this clone, when he's done gliding, he's gonna check to see if he's touching this color. Okay, if he is, we are gonna change his costume to be red, right? So if he touches somebody else's red, then he himself is gonna turn red. So the way you change the costume is if you go into looks, you can do a switch costume to costume 2. Now costume 2, we can rename it, but we'll just remember that costume 2 is the one that is a sick cat.
Right,
okay?
Right. We only have 2 costumes, so sort of easy in this case.
That's right. Now, the touching color, so a sick cat is actually not purple, and it actually has to be red. And so what we're gonna do is, you know what? I'm gonna come back into costumes, and I am gonna change the original guy to be the sick guy. So we're gonna start off with having the original guy be the sick guy. So click on the devil cat. I'm gonna call him the devil cat now, because he looks like the devil.
He does look like the devil.
Click on the devil cat. All right, the devil cat. Click on the devil cat and then go back to the code. So the devil cat is red, and so instead of purple, what we want to do is do red. Now this guy is very small, but click on that purple and it'll come up with this screen, right? This shows you any color that you can have it check on whether it's touching. What we're going to do is use this thing called little eyedropper, and we're going to go into here and look for the cat, and we're going to say
very cool.
Red. So put the little magnifying glass over a red part of the cat until that outside ring there, that outside circle turns red. See how it's like different colors? If you put that dot over a red part, click it, and red. So if touching color red, then switch costume to 2.
Yeah, I don't think I've done that. I usually don't mess with my sprites too much because I'm not very artistic, but that's a pretty cool little feature there. It even looks kind of fun. It might even tempt me to do that. Yeah, hey, though, before I forget, who are we again?
Can I just have a running ticker in the back? We are the CoderSchool AppStream.
Yeah, we've got Hansel Lin and Wayne Tang, and this is the CoderSchool AppStream again. If you're joining us late, but again, we're recording this, so that's highly unlikely. But just in case,
we broadcast this live. Okay,
yeah, that's true.
So now we got if touching this color, then switch costume to costume 2. Now, here's the thing, guys. Remember this guy up here is our original guy. When I click, you know what? I'm gonna put this flag down here. You guys probably know what this does, but so in events, we have a win flag clicked. We're gonna create a clone of myself, 10 clones of myself. So that's this flag right here. So when I click it, Wayne, what's this thing gonna do?
He's gonna repeat 10 times and create 10 clone puppies of himself. That's what I'm thinking.
Clone puppies, that's right. And every puppy is gonna be gliding around and checking to see if they touch something else that's red. And if they do, then it's gonna switch the costume to costume 2, which is the devil cat.
Yeah.
Right? So,
hey, and a question from Oklahoma from an 8-year-old Timmy. But he could be fictional since we're recording this. But he's asking, so would you want to maybe hide that dude, that first dude, or leave him on the screen?
We might, but I think for now we need somebody to actually have the babies and just kind of hang out and watch. But hey, you know what? I actually found there's a bug right here. Before I even run it, I know there's a bug already. Wayne, what do you think?
Let's
the bug's
see here. So it's unlikely there's a bug with the very first one, I'm thinking, because he's just repeating 10 times. He's creating 10 clones. So I would go and I'd look at the beefier code here. So it's kind of like when I start as a clone and I'm forever gliding around. Let's see here. If
No, you didn't pass the test. You're supposed to give the answer within 3 seconds.
yeah, well, my debugging is actually old school. I would actually just ask you to put a print statement after each one of these blocks, and then I'll
Yeah.
be like, okay, did it print? Did it
Yeah,
print?
we don't use breakpoints.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
I need a breakpoint. But
developer humor. All right,
yeah,
so actually,
where's the issue?
what the issue is actually when I start as a clone, this guy is already red, so all of my guys are going to be red. Everybody's already sick.
Ah,
So that doesn't really emulate coronavirus very much,
yeah,
but
that
everybody's
doesn't
already sick.
emulate it. Yeah, that would have been unfair. That would.
So what we're going to do is, because of that bug, we're going to come in here and say, well, let's, as soon as we start as a clone, let's just say, hey, we got to start healthy. Costume 1 is healthy, right?
And so that actually did lead me to that other caller's question, which is probably myself. But it's kind of like how, we want to think about like, so they all start off healthy and everybody's healthy. How do we inject that very first,
That's right.
virus, I guess, So.
That's right. That's right. How do we emulate Wuhan?
Yeah, how do we emulate that, man? Like
Anteater thing that
yeah, I have no idea really how it all started. I've read a lot of weird stories. I don't even know if I want to, propagate those random weird rumors and stuff, but like, people
yeah.
eating a bat or a snake or I don't know.
What we're going to do here is we're just going to assume that this original guy that we have, he is the starter of the virus. So he's going to be red.
Got it.
And everybody else is going to be healthy. So I'm going to hit the green flag, and it's probably not going to work as we thought that it would. But you see that there's 9 other folks in there that's healthy. Ooh, one guy.
Ooh, one got it, dude.
One
Check
got
him
it.
out.
Got
but
it.
Look. Hey, he
another one got it.
Another one got it. But I am seeing him hit some others and maybe not quite getting it. So I guess we got to figure out is a delay or something,
Yeah. Well, that's right. That's right. Exactly. So what the issue is if you see this glide 1 second, this gets a little bit more technical. The glide 1 second, the code actually, the computer won't check for the color until it's done gliding. So if you're gliding from one side of the screen to the other, then it's not gonna, if you run straight through a cat, it's not gonna know. That said, look, wow, hey, I didn't expect this, but everybody is already red. Wow, this is a dangerous virus.
You just killed the world, dude.
This is a dangerous virus. Wow, look at that. Okay, well, hey, maybe this even works this way. Maybe we'll just try it this way. Let's just see if it works this way.
It kind of does. That's true. It did kind of emulate it.
Yeah. Okay, but but then I can't emulate the other part of like staying home. All right, so we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
That's going to be harder. Okay, so what we're going to do is see these guys are gliding all over the screen. Instead of gliding like that, we're going to change it to where they move a little bit in a random direction. All right. So
and maybe go into the thought process behind that and what that emulates and what that gives us the flexibility to control.
Yeah. So let me drag some of the code, Wayne, and you can look at each of the lines that I'm going to use. So what we want to do is so this is our standard way to move a guy is we do move and turn. We move and turn. We move and turn.
Move and turn. That's what I've been doing all morning. I was cleaning my garage.
That's my kung fu move, man. My move and turn. What's up?
That's true, man. That is a good move, actually, especially if you turn one way first and then turn the other way. That always takes people out.
Yeah, left and right. All right. So what we're going to do is we are going to move in a random way. So actually, I will do a turn first. So turn, of course, turns your guy. Now,
that reminds me of your dancing, Hansel.
Does it?
Move in a random way. Random like movement. Yeah, and the overbite. That's not bad. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Bringing it back. Bringing
back the old days. All right, so we're going to turn 1 to 10 degrees. All right, so Wayne, I think we need a little lesson here on how degrees work. I'm going to go negative 45 to positive 45. Now, what in the heck does that mean?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have messed around much with the degrees and things, but you know how 360 degrees is a circle. So like if you start at the top and you go around, every little notch, I guess, is a degree. As you're going around, when you get to, 45 is about here, 90 is about a quarter of the pie.
3 o'clock.
So 3 o'clock, as you go down to 6 o'clock, you're about at 180. And then you keep going around to 270, which would be 9 o'clock, and then back up to noon, which would be your 360 degrees I would have just covered. And so 45 degrees positive would mean that you're going, to 3 o'clock. Negative 45 is kind of like the same of going, all the way, I guess, to what, 3:15?
I think we both skipped first grade math. That's why it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be 3 o'clock. It's like a 1:30 because 90 degrees.
Oh, right. Yeah, that'd be 90. 3 o'clock is 90. It would be like 1:30. You're absolutely right, man. Yeah, another caller just called in about that.
We got so many callers. It's crazy. Okay, so basically,
a lot of callers,
minus 45 to 45 makes it so if this is straightforward, we're gonna pick a random number between here and here or so, something like that. So this V that we're both looking cool doing. I feel like we're doing a dance or something.
This is our new logo.
It's gonna, so the guy's gonna turn somewhere randomly in here, okay? So it'll be completely random, so we won't know. Every time he does it, it'll be a random direction. And we're gonna make a move, also random, this green random thing here. We're just gonna make a move anywhere from 1 to, let's say, 10 steps. That was 1 to 10. We'll leave it at 1 to 10.
Yeah, let's try that.
Instead of gliding, we're gonna have this guy move, we're gonna have this guy turn randomly and then move randomly. So it's a little bit more precise. So whereas glide, we could have glided all the way across the screen before we would have checked the color. This time we're just going to move a little bit in a random direction and then check the color and move again. So this will look similar to what we saw before, but a little bit jerkier, but it does more checking of the color. So let's see what happens here.
Check it out. Let's check it.
Hey, everybody's red again.
Oh yeah.
Why is that, everybody?
Yeah.
Wayne, should I be quizzing you on why is that, or should I just answer? I'll give you 2 seconds. No. Okay, so the reason why that is, everybody, is because it's a clone. And when you do a clone, a legit clone, this clone will start exactly where this original guy is. And so the original guy is sick. And so that means as soon as I clone him, the clone's going to get sick because the clone is touching the original guy as soon as he's cloned. That's why everybody is red when they start out. So what we need to do instead, what should we do?
Got to make him healthy.
We're going to go to the Star Trek days and we're going to go get a teleporter. And as soon as we start as a clone, as soon as this guy like what's the word? Clones himself.
Gives birth.
Yeah. Gives birth to himself. We're going to make him teleport. We're going to make him teleport to a random position on the screen. So that way, as soon as he's cloned, he goes teleport somewhere else and doesn't get sick. So that's what that go to a random position is going to do.
Yeah,
right?
and if you remember right when you started the last one, did you see that whole frenzy in the upper right corner? Yeah, that's right. So that's not that great of a simulation, right? You want kind of people are all over the map. So yeah. I think this random position will help that for sure.
So now let's see what happens. So we're going to go start. All right. So people are all, now this is kind of like New York City. One guy got sick already off of the sick guy. And a couple people are getting sick.
Up to 3. Yeah, kind of going.
So going pretty quick, right? That was pretty quick.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's already dead. Yeah, they're already all sick. That was fast.
That was really fast. Now, I'm sure you guys want to see more action. Everybody loves more action. So what are we going to do here, man? Let's go to 100. No, that's probably too many.
Whoa, that's probably too many. Yeah.
Let's go to 50.
Yeah, 50.
Let's zoom. Let's see how fast.
Now it's looking more like New York, dude. Check it out. Times Square.
Wow. See, this is what happens when it's Times Square. It's red already. There's so many carriers that carry the virus around and they get other people sick so fast, right? When it's 50. And that
quite a bit.
That's probably not even New York. That's probably, I don't know, downtown San Francisco. But let's do New York, 100.
Yeah.
Now it's like really crowded. Now this is like going to an NBA game. And you're sitting right next to people who are also maybe sick. Look at that. Boom. Everybody's red so fast because there's so many people with the virus.
Yeah.
And guys, that's why, like, people wonder, why did you cancel NBA so fast? You know, all these sporting events where people sit right next to each other, all these concerts. This is why. This is why there's
Yeah,
so many people.
it starts with just Gobert, and then it would have been boom, the entire lake, all of
That's right.
Utah, and then
That's
all of the
right.
Lakers, and then the team that they played,
That's right.
Your
Yep.
favorite team would
For you
certainly have gone
basketball
down.
fans, Gobert, you guys
Yeah.
probably know who he is, but he was the first one in the NBA to have the virus.
Yeah.
But that's how fast this stuff spreads. So that, I mean, that actually is kind of an emulation of how the virus works. Now, one difference is, you know, if somebody had the virus and if I touched him, it's not like 100% sure that he's going to translate the virus to me, right? It's not like that obvious. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of action in here. So let's go back down to like 30, just so it's a little bit easier to see. So what we're going to do is when one cat touches when a healthy cat touches a unhealthy cat, we're going to give it a percentage to see whether it's likely or not that it will expose them to the disease.
Yeah,
So
and that's a great simulation because, as you said, it is not 100% that you walk by another person or even touch them. It's not a guarantee that you're going to get it.
That's right.
So this will make it a little more accurate, a little bit more like the real world.
Yeah, I'm going to pretend that we can pretend we're epidemiologists for a second here. There's this thing called R0. Some of you folks might have heard of it, but you adults probably have that are watching the news. It's kind of a reflection of how contagious a disease is. And so we're kind of emulate that here. It's, you know, obviously it's not that close of an emulation, but I wanted to say R0 because it sounds like I'm super smart.
Yeah.
Wayne, you were probably like, R0, what is R0?
Exactly. I kind of was actually, but you did sound super smart.
Excellent. I got that point across.
So I kind of felt like I was back in the corporate world at a meeting conference table going, I'm not sure what that guy just said, but he sounds really smart.
I'm going to nod my head.
I'm going to nod my head, and when an email comes across my desk, I'll just be like, I think I know what that is.
Okay, so back to the code. So if we're touching red, what we're going to do is instead of automatically making this guy sick, which is what this costume does, we are going to first put an if-then statement in here. Let's see if I can do this right. Boom. There we go. If something, then we're going to switch, then he's going to be sick. So if what?
Right.
We're going to give him a chance, a percentage chance to see if he actually is sick or not sick. So how do you do percentages in here? We are going to hit this operators, and we are going to do, let's do this one, less than 50 for now. So
50-50 is kind of what you're saying. If you're doing a random number between 1 and 100, you'd be giving them a 50-50 shot.
You gave it away, man. I was going to say.
Oh, sorry. Did I? Sorry, I think I just
rewind. Let's rewind.
Yeah. We'll go back to the R0 segment. That'll boost you again. Sorry about that.
All right. Okay, so all right. So what do we put in here, guys? If I put in 50, what would that do? Nothing.
Jimmy from Oklahoma called in again.
Same dude?
He got it. He got it this time. Yeah, I think I said Timmy last time, but Jimmy this time.
Jimmy and Timmy. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So we can't put 50 in here because 50 is never less than 50. It's always equal to 50. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to do a random number. All right. So it's exactly like Wayne said.
In fact, if you put any real number in there, it's not going to ever change, right? Like say you put 25 in there, it's always less than. If you put 51, it's always greater than. You know?
Yeah, so that doesn't do us any good. So in this case, what we want to do, like Wayne said, is we're going to pick a random number, completely random from 1 to 100. And then we're going to check to see if it's less than 50. So how many numbers from 1 to 100 are less than 50? Trick question, Wayne.
Yeah, I guess 50. 49.
Oh, you fell for the trick. Yeah. Oh, I gotcha. Yeah. So, you know, about 50, right? 49. So in this case, what we're saying is if you touch somebody if a healthy cat touches a sick cat, there's a 50-50 chance that they're going to get it. Now that's pretty high. I don't think that's emulating the real world per se, because it's not that likely. I mean, I think in the real world is a lot less likely than that. I don't know what the number is. It's probably
Yeah,
37.653% if I remember.
I
Actually, I'm
think
wildly
so.
guessing. I'm going to put
But
20%.
if you wear your mask, like this, oh wait, I
You're
think I'm
safe,
covering.
man. You're totally
I'm being
safe
safe
from
from you,
everybody.
Hansel.
You're
Just in
safe
case.
from everybody on this call.
I can't catch this from you, can I? From a Zoom?
I don't know. I'm a pretty good programmer, man. I can program a virus through this thing.
I know. That's what I'm
Now,
worried about, dude. That's
now
what
that
I'm
you have the
worried about.
mask.
Yeah. But anyway, a mask will lower your percentages. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and people are saying that wearing a mask is healthy for you now, guys. So think about doing that. My son actually just made a ninja mask for himself and for the family as a
Yeah,
project
actually.
today. So fun
Yeah,
thing
for
to
a
do.
serious moment there. Actually, on all seriousness, definitely. It's recommended now when you go
Yep.
outside. So.
Yep. Okay, so now let's look at the code again. So if every time we go in here and every time we touch a sick cat, we're going to do a random number and check to see if that random number is less than 20. So that means there's a 20% chance every time we touch a sick cat that we become sick ourselves.
So it should be about 1 in 5. So you touch like 5 of them,
That's
then
right.
you're probably going to get it.
Right. We're not going to be able to count that, but let's see what happens. So we're just going to run it and see. So they're starting to get sick a little bit. Wow, it's kind of hard to see. My eyes are going.
A little bit less. It's still going pretty fast. Dang, maybe we should make it 10%.
Maybe.
that
Wow,
was
pretty fast. I think the real life is probably more like 1 or 2%.
Yeah, I think
my
so.
guess, but
I think so.
honestly have zero idea.
Yeah.
So 5%. This you got to imagine they're pretty healthy. Then let's see if anybody gets sick off of our original cat. Man, I hope our video is not like in grayscale because that would be hilarious. Everybody's like, which cat is red? All right, so nobody is getting sick right now. So 5 is too low.
Yeah, 5 is too low.
Let's make this New York City again, and then we'll make it 10, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so now people are starting. So now, because it's New York City, look what happens when it's this crowded. Whoa, now it's turning all red almost. That's how fast it goes.
Whoa.
So really, this simulation is telling us when it's crowded like this, when there's a lot of people crowded, it's gonna get you sick.
Yeah.
Even though there's only a 10% chance. Actually, let's make it 5% and have it still be crowded.
Yeah. That's 5 in 100, but it's still gonna get you when there's so many people, and they're all moving about like that.
Yeah. So let's see. Wow. So it started slow, but now look at that. And that's what happens.
That's true.
And that
is a really good point, because it took a little while for that first 2 or 3, and then though it was like bam, like nothing.
Yeah. And if you think about it, that's kind of what's happening now, right? In the world, you start off, if you look at some of our states, they're starting off slow. New York, maybe a month ago, started off kind of slow, California kind of slow, and then all of a sudden it hit this huge curve and boom, all these people were getting sick. So when there's only 1 or 2 people, not the way it spreads is not very quickly, but once a few more get it, it just moves really fast. And you can see it in the simulation here. So let's see, what else do we want to show? I think that is, I know, here's the last thing we want to show. And this is actually really important. The last thing we want to show is this, guys. So you folks have probably heard, well, let me see, I'm going to make this, well, we can keep it at 100 actually.
We could keep it at 100. Well,
yeah,
maybe.
well, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
So you guys have probably heard that I think, what is it, 96% of the country, at least today, has been issued stay-at-home orders. And so why is that? People are like, oh, this is killing the economy, and that's right. The economy is so tough nowadays. I know a lot of people are having a hard time. But why is that? Staying at home, it actually helps stop the spread of the virus really quickly. Yeah. We can't really emulate that flattening the curve thing very well here, but what we can do is we can emulate staying at home. So I'm going to pick a random position. So even at home, you're going to move a little bit, maybe to get your groceries, or I don't know.
You might take a walk or something. Yeah. So anyway, like 2 steps.
Yeah, 2 steps, but in some random direction. So let's see what happens and see if we're completely wrong or not.
Well, 100 still might be so many that it might still get contagious and start spreading.
Well, let's see. Well, so yeah, so these guys are actually moving around and everybody's touching each other. That's great. So it does still spread. And you know why? It's because this is kind of like being at home with 100 people in your house.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
everybody is so close together that everybody's touching. So it's not really emulating what's all staying at home. But let's emulate that a little bit. So now we're no longer out in the stadium with 1,000 people, or we don't have like 100 people inside our own house.
Right.
Um, so let's make it less dense and say there's only 30. There's 30 people out there, and they're, well, I guess they're not really staying at home. They're kind of all
Well,
moseying around.
you could maybe change it to just one, move it one,
True.
and then they're kind of staying at home. But yeah, then they're definitely staying at home, and then we can kind of see.
So that one guy got sick because he basically went to his house. See, he like walked
Yeah,
right to his
see, he
house.
went to deliver the groceries to the wrong person.
Yeah.
Well,
And I
like four of them
understand
just
it.
all kind of went there,
Yeah.
but you can at least see how it's slowing it down quite a bit, right?
Yeah. And
Like
and
like before, 100 people were already all contaminated by now.
yeah. Yeah. And in fact, if people are really staying at home, then really staying at home in this situation is probably moving zero, right? So if you're moving zero, you can
You're
very
safe.
easily see that if you never go out to the grocery store or you never go anywhere,
You're kind
you're
of
just not
safe.
going to get sick. You're totally safe.
Absolutely.
Even in this case, that one cat right next to the sick cat,
Yeah,
he's probably playing a little hardball
he
there.
is. Yeah, he's
Playing on the
kind
edge
of
there, but
risking it. He's on the edge, man.
yeah. But he's healthy.
Yeah, he's healthy, and see, as long as he doesn't move, stay
so
in your
so
house.
yeah, I know you guys are all bored out there and doing things at home, and it's a little bit of a different world, but it's part of what we need to do. Hashtag stay home is what they say. You can see that when you're staying home, it really does reduce the amount of exposures that we do have out there.
Yeah.
Um, so I will end with this. You guys can see that this code is actually really short and easy. I guess Wayne and I are just rambling on, trying to be comedians here. We're comedians, we're epidemiologists, we're AI.
Yeah,
What else
and
we're
we're
pretty smart.
producers now of a TV
We're
show.
pretty, um, for the kids out there who put this code together and understand it, which I hope you do, have a couple challenges for you if you want to try them at home. You can try to see if so make you guys move back in a normal way again. But your challenge is to see if you can make it so after they get sick, for about, let's say, 100 turns or so, they're sick, but then they turn back healthy. Now that's something that's pretty possible in real life too, right? A lot of these most coronavirus folks, they end up getting better. The death rate is quite low. I think it's somewhere around 1, 2, or 3%. Again, I'm not an epidemiologist. But try to put that emulation in your code. So after you get sick, about 100 turns later, he turns back to healthy, and then see how
Very
the
cool.
code runs. That's
Yeah,
kind of
that's a great challenge. That's a great challenge, and it would actually make this emulation that much closer to real life because people do,
yeah.
recover.
Yeah. And so if you add that in, what will happen is once you recover in your code, actually, they might get sick again, which I don't know if anybody knows if that's possible quite yet. But one thing you can add to your code, at least to your simulation, is let's say they get sick and they get better. What you could do is just make an assumption that they now have antibodies and they can't get sick anymore. So the challenge number 2 is, can you make it so that once they get better, that they can't get sick again? And then see how long it takes for people to get back to normal, which is what we're going to be in. I don't know how long, but we will be there, guys. We will be there, and we'll all be stronger for it.
Yeah.
So I think that is the end of our Coder School app stream, which we haven't mentioned in a while. This is the Coder School app
That's
stream.
true. Hansel, Wayne, and we are the CoderSchool AppStream. That's right.
KOD channel.
Actually, this is the first. This is the first so far episode of the AppStream from the CoderSchool. Hopefully we'll be doing more of these, and if shelter in place remains and I never get a haircut, maybe by episode 5, I'm going to have a ponytail. And maybe by episode 5, Hansel's going to have some hair. And
I'm
so
gonna grow out
that'll
my
be kinda
dreadlocks,
cool.
man.
Yeah, he used to have dreadlocks. Just anyway, you can ask us on episode 3 about that one. So yeah. All right.
Awesome, guys. Thanks everybody for your time. Wayne, thanks for the awesome color channel play-by-play, whatever it's called.
Yeah, and thanks for driving us through that cool, first app. This is awesome. Really enjoyed
Right
it.
on. Until next time, somebody hit the stop button on the recording.